Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogreboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2019 movie Captain Marvel. So, this movie is set in 1995 and follows Carol Danvers as she becomes Captain Marvel after Earth is caught in the center of a galactic conflict between two alien civilizations, the Skrulls and the Kree. And at the beginning of the movie, she's on the Kree side, but as it goes on, there's this big twist and everything with the Skrulls actually being good guys, and she ends up helping them out instead at the end of the movie. And throughout the whole movie, she doesn't really remember who she is. She has amnesia and can't remember a lot of stuff, so she's also trying to piece that together throughout the movie too. And she teams up with Nick Fury and her friend Maria Rambeau to help Talos and the other Skrulls take on the Kree. This movie is okay. It's never been one of my favorite MCU movies. Ever since it first came out, it's never been one of my favorites and everything. It's not as fun-hearted and lighthearted and fun as some of the other MCU movies. It has its moments and stuff, but it isn't as fun as the other ones. The tone of the movie is just not as good in this one. I will say that the cast are okay in here. You got Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, and I think she's okay as the character. I don't think she was the best choice to play Captain Marvel. I think she's a great actress outside of the MCU, but so far I've kind of felt like she was miscast as Carol. I'm hoping that that'll change though with the Marvels and stuff. Hopefully she'll be a lot better in that movie. I'm not gonna dog her out and everything like a lot of people love to do, because I don't think she's that bad of an actress. Like most people that have claimed that she's like one of the worst actresses around and everything, obviously haven't seen her other stuff. I mean, she is an Oscar-winning actress for a reason and everything. She was great in the movie Room. She was great in Short Term 12 and The Glass Castle. And she's been great in a lot of good indie drama movies and stuff. So she's a pretty good actress. This movie just isn't one of her best. And everything. She didn't really fit the blockbuster film style, although she was pretty good in Kong Skull Island. So maybe she'll be better in future stuff as Captain Marvel, but this one I just felt she was okay and kind of miscast and everything. I enjoyed her a little bit more in Endgame and everything. I know a lot of people didn't like her in that either, but I personally thought she was better in Endgame than she was in this one and everything. But Captain Marvel is a likable enough character, and Brie Larson does a decent enough job playing her. Samuel Jackson is really good as Nick Fury in this one. He's great in all of the MCU movies. This is one of the ones where he gets to be a highlight of it, because he's in here throughout most of the movie and everything, which is always a plus. Adding Samuel Jackson to anything always makes it better, and letting him have a big part as Nick Fury in this one was a lot of fun and everything, because he doesn't get to be big parts in the movies very often and everything, but when he does, he's always fun to watch as Nick Fury, because he's great and everything, and he was great in this. And I love how this movie sets up a lot of stuff that still hasn't even really came out in the MCU yet. We still got Secret Invasion coming out and Secret Wars, and this was one of the first early steps to that and everything. You can slowly start to see their plans for upcoming phases with this movie. The action in here is okay. My favorite scene is probably when she fights the Skrull that's disguised as an old lady on the train. Might have even been Talos that was disguised, I can't remember, but that scene is a lot of fun and everything. But most of it is kind of generic CGI, just not real great action in the last act. It was okay, not anything super memorable and everything. I did like the references to Top Gun. I wish there would have been more of them. I wish we could have seen more of Carol when she was younger and stuff. We just get enough of her backstory to know how she got her powers and stuff. I wish we could have got to know her a little bit better, but who knows, maybe we will later on down the line as the franchise goes on. If Brie Larson keeps coming back, there's been rumors that after the Marvel she's going to be done. I hope that's not the case, but because I think that she deserves a fair shot at becoming a better version of the character later down the line and everything. Hopefully the Marvels will do that. But this is a fun movie. I will say the friendship between her and Maria Rambeau is pretty well written, although I think that Lashana Lynch, who plays Maria Rambeau, is just kind of okay. She's kind of like the way they directed her and Carol is like they're kind of really good friends and everything. You feel their friendship in this movie, and her daughter Maria, and the relationship between her and Carol is really well written. So I like a lot of things about this movie. It does have some really good moments, and I love that when we find out that Talos is actually a good guy and all that, and Ben Mendelsohn does a really good job playing him. And I thought that was a cool little twist that they put in the movie and everything about the Skrulls actually being good guys, and she was on the wrong side of the wharf the whole time. I thought that was kind of a cool little twist. And this movie is it's okay. It has some good moments. The visuals in here are actually pretty decent for the most part. Some of the CGI is a little wonky in the third act, but most of the visuals hold up pretty well and everything. I think the makeup on the Skrulls look really great and everything. They did a good job with that and everything. And also, I forgot to mention the villain of the movie, played by Jude Law. I think he was okay. I think he was an okay villain. Jude Law is one of those actors that sometimes I really like him, sometimes I don't, but I thought he was good in here as Yon-Rogg, the commander of Star Force and her ex-mentor and stuff. He was pretty good. And I think he did a good enough job and everything. And Annette Bening as Mar-Vell was pretty good too. So you got a pretty decent cast and everything. And the story is, like I said, it's okay. It is more of a slow burn movie. I don't know if it was intentional, but it feels like a slow burn movie. It's 2 hours and it does drag quite a bit in the middle and everything. There's parts where I was like, can we just get to the point already? But I do think this movie is alright. Like I said, it's not one of the ones I find to be as rewatchable as other MCU movies. It's watchable, but it's not as fun to rewatch as some of the other ones and everything. So all in all, I think that Captain Marvel is an alright movie. It's not super great, not as bad as some people say it is either. It's just one of the more mediocre MCU movies. So I'd say I'd give Captain Marvel a 6 out of 10. It's not one of my favorites by any means. It's not one of the worst either. Like I said, it's watchable. It just is okay. And I think one of the reasons I've never been big on it is placing it in between Infinity War and Endgame was kind of a mistake too. I think they should have released it before Infinity War and Endgame. Personally, just because it would have been a little bit better. They could have had the little mid-credit scene that was in Captain Marvel be in Infinity War and just had it set before. Same with the Ant-Man one. I think they could have added those scenes to Infinity War and made those movies come out before it and everything, and it would have worked a little bit better in the timeline or the way things were released and everything. Because every time I watch the movies in the order they came out, I don't want to go from Infinity War to Ant-Man and the Wasp and this, and then to Endgame. I want to just go straight from Infinity War to Endgame, but I also don't like skipping them and everything, so I try to watch them in the order that they came out in all the time. But this one is a fun movie. It's just not my most favorite in the MCU either. It's just a fun time at times and everything. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Captain Marvel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.